share this. Grand Rising, how you doing? Look at y'all coming in here. I'm excited that you are. I mean, I just didn't know who was up or who was doing what at this time. I hope that you guys got some time to listen on in and tap a little bit. We're going to go back into our limitless thinking, limitless living, you guys, okay? So I know that this is not the day I usually do it, but I'm up and about, and since my son is up and I'm not going to be waking him up and don't got to cover up the shade, I figured we get a grand rising. I figured we get a session in. What y'all say, huh? Y'all come on in here. Let's get this session on in here. I didn't know y'all was up doing y'all thing now. Grand rising, come on in. Okay, we're going to get a little bit of a reading session in. Okay, we're on page 70. I'm taking us back to page 70 because we was on page 73. But I'm taking us back to 70 because I don't know why, but Spirit's leading me to go back over this with you guys. And I'm going to do it. And I kind of see why, because I feel like a lot of us are in a space where there's a lot going on. And you're having to juggle a lot right now, okay? But I'm going to be reading a little bit on page 70, okay, about don't miss the next level. You're about to, some of you guys are about to go to another level, okay? And thank you so much for becoming a member of my team, okay? Thank you so much for the follows. Some of y'all are about to go to another level in your life. And right now it seems like everything is just doing what it do. Like everything is changing around you. You may feel like things are being taken from you, or you're having to kind of really figure some things out about your weekly spending, about your daily spending. You're really having to crack down on something, because I feel like some of you guys could have been saving for something, but also I feel like the groceries have gotten so expensive. Living daily has gotten expensive, okay? And I feel like people are really starting to pay attention, be very intentional about where they're putting their money. A lot of people are researching companies these days and letting go of some of the ones that no longer serve them, because people are waking up to, oh, so I can pay the people overseas $5 and get that same shirt. Y'all been doing it the same way too? How people are selling their products, and are people authentic? Is it something that doesn't harm the earth? People are being more attentive and intentional about where they're putting their energy. And some of you guys are about to go to another level. And you need to be careful about who you are allowing in your energy at this time, okay? I don't know why that's coming up. I don't know who need to hear this. But there's something there about this. So let's say a little bit of prayer to get us on into this energy. I hope that y'all can hear the tones we got in the background, trying to make sure it stays a meditative mood, you guys, so that you're open to receiving. Okay, because when you're in meditation, you're being open. okay, to receive. So receive what Spirit has to give to you today through the messages that we're going to get out of this here book that we are getting back into. How y'all doing? How y'all been? Please let me know in the chat. Okay, don't be scared. And thank you so much for following. I'm going to get into this don't miss the next level, okay? All right, rock solid faith is where I'm starting at on that page. Okay, good. Let's do this. Let's have a little bit of a prayer, like I said. Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Let's do this. Y'all share me with someone. Put this on the FYP for me, please. Grand Rising. If you're new here, welcome on in, okay? This is not when I usually do this, but I feel like I'm going to start just doing some pop-up social seeds for y'all to get more into it, because this season I have some guests that's coming on the show on Sundays, and one I feel like so far I have one on a Friday or a Saturday coming up in either October or November. I'm going to have some couples coming on talking with us about trauma, but also about their experiences right now in their business and pump their business up. But we're going to have some deep discussions. You could be seeing me post things about elevated conversations. If you've been looking at my posts and things of that nature, it's going to be called Elevated Conversations. So we're going to be talking on a lot of different situations that especially come up in our books that we can bring into our daily life. But we're going to be having elevated conversations, not just to lift the collective higher, but to put out knowledge and information for those who are seeking different knowledge, education on different scenarios that have to do with the spiritual community, okay, and healing, and what your healing your trauma is doing for you and the people to come after you, all right? So make sure that you guys just keep notifications turned on. You're going to be seeing me over here more often. I am in the midst of creating some things to grow the Blossom and Grow label brand, because it all is where Social Seeds podcast came from, y'all. So if you just know me as Social Seeds Podcast, before that, I was Blossom and Grow LLC. I still am. Blossom and Grow LLC is my nonprofit, okay, where I help people to grow through what they go through. We help them to heal their trauma so that they can move on their life in a more authentic and intentional way of living, bringing in their life purpose, okay? So we help open people up to that, and I hope that you guys will continue to support us here as we grow in the community of Baltimore, outside of Baltimore, and beyond. I don't know how many of y'all know when you go into Baltimore and you're seeing the people and you're seeing the things that happen around, and you experience the people, you know that there's a lot of hurt, a lot of pain around the city of Baltimore. But Spirit is taking me from beyond the Baltimore walls and putting me out there on some of my other TikTok channels. So if you don't follow me on all of my TikTok channels, make sure you check out my link tree. I think I have it here in the bio. You can see about my nonprofit and my other for-profit ventures that I have going to help the community heal here in the United States, but also beyond. That is my purpose is to help people find their purpose. Those who are hurt and lost and still living in the same patterns of life. So if you're new here, welcome on in, and let's get into this prayer. So, Father, we come to you thanking you for another day. We thank you for bringing us into this abundant life that we're about to experience, that we are experiencing, and it's growing, God. And we can all feel some type of breakthrough that you are sending into this collective. We feel it on the horizon. We feel it coming. And we thank you on today. We know that we are in a year where there's a lot of endings that we're seeing and a lot of beginnings of things that we thought we would never see again. But everything is being exposed to us on a deeper level so that we can understand the people that we have placed in power, so that we can make better choices for our future. God, we thank you for bringing us here today and allowing us to commune together and learn from your word. We ask that you send your spirit, send your anointing down so that we can get what we need from this word. In your name, amen. All right, let's do this. So we're talking about rock solid faith. Thank you for coming on in and becoming a member of my team and for the follow now. All right. For those of you that are new here, I want to open up by saying, even though I'm talking about the word of God, I cuss. So if it come out, it come out. I am who I am. Okay. If that's going to offend you about a few words that I say, and distract you from really understanding the message that we are trying to get through, then this ain't the channel for you, because it is what it is. And people need people who don't try to act like they're one way behind the scenes and another way in person. I am who I am. There is no mask here. And it's very open and even very uncomfortable. So if you're not in for that, this ain't the place for you, all right? But this is to help us to grow and change the way that we view things, or has society has had us. For those of us that are waking up or want to, okay, grand rising to all of those who are coming in. And thank you again for the follows. We got rock solid faith. Jesus wants us to have rock solid faith. The key is knowing his word and living according to it, Jesus said. Now listen, again, if you're new in here, we don't just talk about Jesus. We talk about Allah. We talk about the different ways of governing ourselves in the spiritual community. I'm more on the spiritual community. I grew up in the church. Don't get me wrong, I did. Okay, but God has opened my mind, my heart, and my understanding to a deeper level of it just being about what we call God. All of our names that we have for God all mean God. Okay? We have a different way of grand rising. All right? We have a different way of doing things, and that's okay. But all of our praise, all of our understanding comes from God. But God had understood that people needed an understanding on their level, on their mindset. And a lot of the time when we're looking and we're seeking God, we're looking and seeking God in something that looks like us. All right? So there ain't going to be no Chinese man looking for a black guy. Okay? So then what they going to... They looking for somebody that look like them. God understood this because we are people who are visual. God understands how God has made us. There's a reason why we're also visual, though. But we have to learn how to balance it out. and not just take things for what they look like, but for what we're actually seeing. Okay? Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, yet it did not fall, because it had its foundation on the rock being God. It has nothing to do with you calling it Jesus or Buddha or Allah. I don't care what you call it. God. God is God. We've just experienced God on different levels, and we need to stop acting like somebody's God is better than theirs when it's all just one God. But God understood that we were visual. And so Buddha is here. Muhammad is here. Jesus Christ is here. All right? They're all ascended masters. They all lead to God, period. All right, so we need to learn how to unlock the stiffness of thinking that it's just our God. It is. It's all our God, okay? A solid foundation of the word gives us a platform of faith. And it doesn't mean just the word of Jesus in that Bible. We're talking about all of the words through the prophets, through the prophetess. This is an evangelist that I'm reading a book from, okay? Danette Crawford. Okay? She just happens to have a lot of Jesus in here because that's where she's coming from. That's where her faith lies. All right? We all have an ascended master who has been taught by God because they came to teach us. We have to understand the lingo on the spiritual side and not just on what individuals have made it to be. There's a reason why they wanted to separate us. That's all it is. There's a reason. And it's because of this type of circle right here. All right? That sees beyond the Jesus, the Buddha, the Allah. Okay? Grand Rising, Grand Rising. All right? Don't miss the next level. A rock-solid foundation of the word gives us a platform of faith that is able to thrust us into a lifestyle of asking and expecting big things from God. When we ask big, we will see God do big things in us, through us, and for us. Are you ready to go to the next level? God's ready to take you there. You simply need to ask for it. But understanding this, when you're asking big things from God, you're asking God to do big things in your life, and you cannot be the same person dealing with big things with God than you were in the past. So God is going to put you through some tests and some trials and some tribulations in order for you to learn what you need to learn to go to that next level that you're asking God for. And it's not going to be easy, but it will be humbling, okay? Okay? We're allowed to believe in whatever God we believe in here. So I'm going to tell you now, if you have a problem with that, you're going to have a problem with me, because I don't just talk about Jesus. But I bought this book right before my mother passed away. Okay? I bought this book when a co-worker of mine's father's passed away, and I was in a Christian bookstore. And I was looking around, and it was on sale, and I like to read. But I never thought that a book that I paid less than $5 for would really help me open my mind. And so if you're in here with wanting to gain some type of knowledge and an understanding on a deeper level than just Jesus, but God as a whole, a lot of us don't realize that God has sent angels around us to protect us and to lead us. But more people are starting to find that today. So you need to be open about what you're about to hear and hear, okay? Or you can scroll on, okay? Whenever God is about to do something big in our lives, there is always a chance we will miss it. Such was the case with the prophet Elisha, who ultimately received the prophetic mantle of his mentor Elijah. When the Lord was about to take Elijah up to heaven, and we talked about this the last time we were on doing the limitless thinking, limitless living. Okay, so that's why I'm going back over it because I want to jog your memories about what we were talking about if you were in here before. All right, when the Lord was about to take Elijah up to heaven in a whirlwind, Elijah and Elisha were on their way from Gilgal. Elijah said to Elisha, "Stay here. The Lord has sent me to Bethel." But Elisha said, "As surely as the Lord lives and as you live, I will not leave you." So they went down to Bethel. 2 Kings 2:1-2. So there could be something about 222. You could be seeing that number. 212 as well could be significant. There could be something about kings or a king. We got the Lord was about to take Elijah home to heaven. Elisha, who had served Elijah faithfully, easily could have missed what was about to happen. Even the prophet Elijah himself encouraged Elisha to stay at a certain place, letting Elisha know that he didn't have to go down to Bethel with him. As the prophet Elijah went to Bethel, then to Jericho, and then finally to the Jordan, Elisha had 3 opportunities to go his own way, rather than remain with his mentor. He had 3 opportunities, so 3s could mean something as well. He had 3 opportunities to miss what God was about to do, and Elisha had 3 opportunities to miss the impartation of the prophetic mantle that would take him all the way to the next level. Don't miss what God is about to do in your life and through your life. And the only reason that you're going to miss it is if you're not present. If you don't stay in the present and focus on God every single day, you're going to miss some type of level up by not staying where God is placing you or putting you. Do you understand? So stay focused on the present, not the past, and not what's coming in the future. I'm not saying don't make plans for the future. However, I'm saying don't be making so much plans so far into the future that you forget to live in the present. Thank you so much for the gifts, and thank you so much for the flowers. I appreciate that. All right. Grand Rising, and welcome on in. Don't miss the next level by failing to qualify. Elisha qualified because he refused to stop short of going all the way. Elisha paid the price by inconveniencing himself in order to serve the prophet Elijah until the end of Elijah's appointment on earth. So this even goes back to your still holding on to what you believe God to bring into your life, okay? It could be an inconvenience in where you are right now in your life, okay? Right now, it's not comfortable. It don't feel good. You're in a space where you're like at a crossroads. Do I deal with some things in the past, or do I make a leap forward away from it? And some of you are still trying to see yourself where God has told you that you're going to be. But what you have to understand is you need to see yourself there already before you see it. That's what God wants from you. God wants you to already see yourself there at the finish line of what it is that you're trying to manifest into your life. Already having that thing. so that you can start making the steps that you need in order to get there, that's being put into your spirit. Okay? So don't miss this next level, failing to qualify to follow through with someone that you are seeing as a mentor. Some people are seeing you as a mentor. So don't fail to follow through on your goals, your dreams, because you got people watching you. And they could be using you as an example to live their life. Okay? It's not just about you. You getting to your goal. You might think it's just about you, but God is using you to show other people something, so that they can see also that they can go for their dreams. They can go for their goals. Do you think God is going to not give you that thing that God has placed in your heart to build, to make, to create? No, because your destiny, I tell y'all all this on my other channel all the time, is connected to other people's destinies too. Okay? It's not just about you. Are you about to stop before you reach Bethel because you are tired and weary? Are you about to camp out at Jericho because you make it to the Jordan? You must keep the fire of faith burning and keep on asking big. Your arrival at the next level depends upon it. Now is not the time to pull over at a rest area or make a pit stop, because some of you guys are being tested right now to see if you want to go back, to see if you want to look back. You're being tested. Old people are coming up into your energy. Your people reaching out to you haven't heard from for years, or y'all had a falling out and people are coming toward you to tell you that they're sorry. They want to get back into your life. You having to make decisions about what you want to continue to have in your life and what you don't. A lot of us are right there at this moment in time. Okay? Okay? A lot of us are. Thank y'all so much for the follows. And you need to make good decisions going into this next half of your life based on where you want to be. Because, see, at some point in time, you wanted what you got right now because you asked for it, because you have it right now. You asked for a different part of your life that you're experiencing right now before. And now you're being made uncomfortable in it because you got comfortable in it. And Spirit wants more for you. And you're trying to figure out, but what, I thought this was something I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life. Well, maybe Spirit had other plans. You already lived out that part of that life. Spirit trying to bring something brand new and for a lot of y'all, very abundant into your life. And the love of your life. Some of you guys are really about to meet that person because you've been working on yourself. Don't miss out on this next level. Okay, this next level ain't got, it just ain't got. But y'all know what I'm saying. This level that you're at, it has nothing on the next level that God has for you. So don't get comfortable where you are, because that's why Spirit's going to make it uncomfortable, because you're going to want more for yourself. You see more for yourself. You always did. But you had certain energies and certain people in your life that wanted to make you feel like you weren't worthy because they don't feel worthy. And that's why you're in here, because you done been traumatized by people that you thought were supposed to be on your side, your family, people that you saw as friends, co-workers. That's why you're in here. Loved ones, lovers. Okay. Don't miss out on this next level. Now is not the time to pull over at a rest area or make a pit stop. You can rest.
Yes,
You can rest, but don't stop, okay? Where the Lord has not called you to pause, this is the time for you to buckle up your seatbelt, fuel the fire of your faith with a full oil supply, and get ready for takeoff. Because some of y'all are about to take off. Your life is really about to change. There's no reason why Spirit made me go back. And it's been coming out. If some of y'all don't know, I'm an energy reader. I'm a tarot reader. I'm a seer is what they call me. Okay? What I call myself. On my other platform, it's been coming out that for the spiritual community, things are really about to take off for you. Those who know that you've done the work, you know that you have been going to God, you've got a solid or more solid relationship with God. It's not just, well, when I need something or just for a few minutes on Sunday. Every day, you should be spending some time with God. Either meditating and listening for the answers or praying. You should be doing both. Because if you're praying for something, you want to hear the direction that God is telling you to go in. And that's what meditating's all about. But some of us don't understand that. We thought we just supposed to talk, pray to God, when you supposed to still be getting some type of meditation time in so you can hear the direction. It's not going to come from outside people. It's going to come from God, your connection to God. Stop looking for things in other people that you have within yourself. Elijah took his cloak, rolled it up, and struck the water with it. The water divided to the right and to the left, and the two of them, Elijah and Elisha, crossed over on dry ground. 2 Kings 2:8. Okay. Thank you for the follows. You are about to cross over, so hang on. Do you hear that? Because for some of y'all, it's going to snap your head back how quickly something happens for you or comes in for you. You're not expecting it. But it's going to come out of nowhere. The best is yet to come. All that you have been promised and all that you have waited for is about to unfold. I'm telling you again, I thought the need to go back and look back over what we did the last time we were over here, but this is about to happen for some of y'all. All that work you've been putting in on that business, all that work you've been putting in on yourself, there's something that's about to unfold for you. All the years, all the prayers, all the serving, all the obedience, it's about to pay off. Expect a double portion blessing. When they had crossed, Elijah said to Elisha, "Tell me, what can I do for you before I am taken from you?" "Let me inherit a double portion of your spirit," Elisha replied. Let me inherit a double portion of your spirit. So you asking a mentor, that's what it is basically. When you follow a mentor or you have someone that you look up to, that you're guided, you're feeling guided to make yourself do as this person is doing, there's something about them. That's what he asked for. Let me inherit a double portion of your spirit. Not just let me inherit some of your spirit, a double. Because what man of God, you are blessed and highly favored. And I want that. It's exactly what Elisha was saying. You have asked a difficult thing, Elijah said. Yet if you see me when I am taken from you, all it will be yours. So he granted it. I'm leaving behind what I've learned, what I've experienced, who I am in my essence to you if you stay right here with me while God takes me. It's yours. Huh? Well, thank you so much now. Welcome on in. That's one of them things like Elijah and Elisha. Elisha would not leave this man's side because Elisha knew Elijah walked with God and wanted part of what you got in you. Let me get double. Let me get a double because I want God to treat me like God treats you. You struck your cloak on this water and it split in two. I want to do that. Okay, I want to be able to travel like that. I don't want to have to go all the way around the sea to get to the other side. I want to be able to that means you got pulled. I want to get in with the people that you sitting in when you sit down at your table. That's what he was saying. I want those types of people to be able to come to me and I do what I need to do for these people. So when you saying that to God, God's people, God's going to bless that person to bless you and vice versa. Okay? Well, good. Welcome on in, ballet shoes and boxing gloves. Okay, I love your name and thank you for the follows. I've come across your name before. I know I have. Okay. Thank you so much for becoming a member of my team. There's something about this here. We need to uphold our mentors, those people that we're learning from, those people that we look up to, because they're passing on some type of greatness to you. However you think of someone as a mentor, you should uplift this person if you stand beside them. Because this man asked for a double portion blessing. So I could be half. Now, if I could be half of the person that you are and be able to lead God's people, I want to do that. That's what he's saying. I want the essence of you. Okay? After Elisha went the distance and crossed the Jordan River with the prophet Elijah, he was able to make his request for a double portion of Elijah's anointing. What I'm saying. And got it. Okay? Ask for what you want from God. Don't think you won't go through some shit to get it. I'm telling you, God will bend you and break you and move you this way and move you that way and have your head spinning. Only to listen to God, though. That's why. God want to see, are you obedient even if you go through this? Are you still going to praise my name and tell people about me? If you go through that and you think I ain't listening to you and I done let you be in that situation for 15 years, you needed to learn something there. You know, we always feeling like I wasted my time. No, you didn't. God was making you ready for something. Something that you probably have no idea that you're about to step into. Let's not be hesitant or timid in our requests. You heard that? When we cross over with God to the next level, we can ask whatever we want and it will be granted to us. Let's not be hesitant or timid in our requests. Elijah conceded that Elisha's request was difficult, but not impossible. Remember, with God, nothing is impossible. I like this right here now. Okay? So if y'all are interested in reading what I'm reading Limitless Thinking, Limitless Living. This is my third time reading it with y'all. Okay? Very good book when it comes to getting on your path. We are doing this on my Wednesdays usually, but I missed it yesterday. I was working, okay? And I was doing some things in a book that I was working on, all right? But today we're getting into it. I'm trying to tell you, And I'm going to read this again. After Elisha went the distance and crossed the Jordan River with the prophet Elijah, he was able to make his request for a double portion of Elijah's anointing. When we cross over with God to the next level, we can ask whatever we want and it will be granted to us. Let's not be hesitant or timid in our requests. Elijah conceded that Elisha's request was difficult, but not impossible. Remember, with God, nothing is impossible, okay? As they were walking along and talking together, suddenly a chariot of fire. That's like, okay, like I said, for those of you who don't know, I am also an energy reader. A chariot in the tarot cards is forward movement, fast forward movement, and guided forward movement. And when I see the fire, it says chariot of fire, I'm seeing the 8 of wands, which is fast forward movement, okay? And communication as well. Fire energy and water energy, passion and love unconditionally for what you do will move forward faster than you think. And I feel like some of y'all are about to take off, because the chariot with the 8 of wands, in my head that I'm seeing that is faster than you expect, okay? Suddenly a chariot of fire and horses of fire appeared and separated the two of them, and Elijah went up to heaven in a whirlwind. Elisha then picked up Elijah's cloak that had fallen from him and went back and stood on the bank of the Jordan. He took the cloak that had fallen from Elijah and struck the water with it. Where now is the Lord, the God of Elijah? He asked. When he struck the water, it divided to the right and to the left, and he crossed over. The company of the prophets from Jericho who were watching said, "The spirit of Elijah is resting on Elisha." People will see that you are coming with God, with you. People will see it in you. When you ask God to reign in you and to lead your steps and order your steps on your path, when you get that anointing over your life, people will see it. The company of the prophets from Jericho who were watching said, "The spirit of Elijah is resting on Elisha." They saw it. People will see it. Elisha did not doubt for one moment. That's why he said, "Where now is the Lord, the God of Elijah?" He struck that cloak on that water like, I know I got this. I already asked for it. And it was given to me. You may not like it. Here it is. I asked for the favor of God. I asked for me to be put in places where I could be able to help other people. At one point in time, you may have said, just in a mumble, words are spells. But they talk about, Christianity, you're talking about spells. That's all they did in the Bible. So like I said, you may not like what I have to say in here, but I'm real and I'm studied and I'm someone who has an understanding in religions and some other things, okay? So you may not like it that people talk about that, all right? What's good, Big Papa? Thanks for coming on in. And thank you for the follows. When I tell you, he did not doubt for a minute. He went over, picked up that cloak, walked back to the land over there, and said, okay, where's my God now? And God opened up that daggone water like, I'm right here. You asked for it. Here it is because you believed it. And do you see how quickly it happened for him? He didn't have to wait. He didn't have to wait because he believed in Elijah and the God that Elijah served. And so when he was getting ready to go, because Elijah said, hey, I'm about to be up out of here, homie. What do you want? What do you want? You've been with me this whole time. What do you want from me? What can I do for you? And he told him, it's going to be difficult what you're asking, but okay. It's going to be difficult what you're asking. Do you hear me? It's not impossible. It's not impossible. If you have a vision for whatever it is that God is telling you to bring into this, God is giving you the vision, not other people. They're not going to believe you. Huh? This is about your faith in God and your relationship with God, not them people. Okay. Well, thank you, Big Papa. It's all God. Okay? It's going to be difficult, which means that you're going to have to go through some shit. Okay? And again, yes, I do curse because I'm real. This is just who I am. And I'm not going to tone it back because it makes people uncomfortable because I'm talking about God and cursing too. People act like they've never cursed or they don't ever curse. I'm not trying to be all Miss Prissy all up in the camera with y'all. I'm trying to be the person that I am in here. And whether you accept that or not, okay? So yes, I do curse. But you have to understand, it's going to be difficult. But God didn't say it was going to be impossible. God said, yeah, I can do that for you. You have your heart in the right place. You might think it's big. People might tell you that idea is too big. That's just not, and that's not possible for her to do or for him to do. But you have a God that can do anything. If God gave you the vision, God's going to help you do it as long as you stay obedient. Okay? It's not impossible. People will see the favor in you and want to work with you. People will see the favor in you and tell other people about you. Help you grow that business. Okay? Because people who got favor want to make sure that they treat people the way they want to be treated. And a lot of people don't like that about the favored. And I'm talking about the chosen ones that are waking up around the world and waking other people up. Not sustaining the past way of dealing with generational trauma. Well, because my grandmama lived like this, I'm going to live like this too. My mama lived like it, so I'm going to live like that. My father did, so I'm going to live like this too. That same old, I'm just going to do what they did. You ain't going to be different. That's why they don't like you. Because you are. And that's why you're in here. You can't do what everybody else does. You're not a carbon copy of shit. Okay? That's why they don't like you. Because you got individuality. Okay? We must determine to go all the way as Elisha did. Too often we get out of God's will by failing to go all the way. That's when we find ourselves standing in the way of God and his wonderful plans for us. Be determined to get out of God's way and stand in his will as you expect a double portion blessing from him. Some of y'all are about to receive double for your trouble. I don't know what you've been through in your life, but some of y'all are about to go to another level because there's no reason why I should have gone back that far and read right there because that's where I stopped. I was skimming over, real quick what we went through the last time we were on for the Social Seeds podcast. But something just told me to go back a little bit. Okay? Some of y'all could be going back a little bit on something. Maybe you don't have that fire that you used to, but I'm here to tell you it's not time for you to sit in that rest area. I don't know who needed to hear this, but it's not time to take a break in that rest area, okay? I don't care if the fall comes and the wintertime comes and you feeling a little bit of, that slow down energy that makes you feel some type of way, makes you want to get all comfortable and gain about 15 pounds. It's not time for that. We're on a mission here. All right? So I don't know what routines you dropped off of lately or something that you may have picked back up. Get it together. When I'm in here, I'm not only talking to y'all, I'm talking to myself. I'm a part of this collective. Do you understand? And just like I got to keep myself in check and look at myself in the mirror every day and be like, okay, so now you said you was going to do this and you didn't, confirmation with the beep outside. And you didn't do it. It's been 3 days since you said you was going to do that. It's been 2 months since you said you was going to finish that. What in the world is going on? Look over your projects and things that you no longer want to get into and you let them go because it's siphoning your energy. But those ones that you can't stop thinking about day and night that God has put in your spirit, and I don't care how big they are, and I don't care who told you you was not going to be able to do it. If God has brought it in your head, in your dreams, and you can't stop thinking about getting to a certain place in your life, or having a certain degree, or having a certain amount of homes, or whatever you want to get into, businesses, you better believe there's a reason for it because your destiny is connected to someone else's destiny who's back there working. So when you're done finishing your part, they come in at the right time. God gotta confuse the enemy. So sometimes it may seem like God is taking you all the way around the long way because you don't know what God's trying to get you to avoid, and you might need to learn some more shit. Go through a few more lessons and figure out who you really are and what you really want in your life. Okay? This is me. What you talking about, Divine Chaos? Ain't nobody else looking like me? Yes, this is Miss Stacy. Okay, from over there on the Awakened Empress 3-3 and on the Pisces portal. Okay, I'm live now. I don't know who, somebody tried to take my whole face. Is that what y'all are telling me? I mean, I know that if you follow me on the Awakened Empress, I got a little over 31.4K followers. Okay, and that is even my birthday, 3/14. Okay. Well, you don't have to follow me over here, okay, if you don't want to. But this is my Social Seeds podcast. I've been telling y'all for years about my Social Seeds podcast, first of all. Secondly, it's all good, okay? I'm going to get off of that because you're a distraction, all right? So we're going back to, we must determine to go all the way as Elisha did. Too often we get out of God's will by failing to go all the way. We begin ready to give up because it seems like everything is just leaving us, taken away from us, okay? There are times when we're going to be going through some stuff and we're like, well, I feel like I can't get ahead. And that's exactly when things are about to change for you, okay? That's when we find ourselves standing in the way of God and his wonderful plans for us. Be determined to get out of God's way and stand in his will as you expect a double portion blessing from him. All right, we got the irrevocable favor of God. We're going to read a little bit of this and I'm going to move on, okay? One evening, the Lord woke me up in the middle of the night and said to me, "The favor of God is irrevocable." I had never heard that before, and I wasn't exactly sure what God meant, but I knew he was trying to get a major point across to me. I kept praying throughout the night, and God gradually unpacked the revelation. According to Webster's New World College Dictionary, something that's irrevocable cannot be revoked, recalled, or undone. Unalterable. When the favor of God is on your life, no one and nothing can alter it. And when you know you have the irrevocable favor of God, your faith to ask and expect big things grows exponentially. So you need to walk in understanding that you have that favor. That's why Elisha was able to just go over there, pick up that cloak and tapping on that damn water. And it's like, okay, where you at? Because I know you here. Because you said you would be here. I was going to have that same anointing. It was said, so I know I got it. So if God done told you that something is going to happen for you, know that you have it. I don't care what it looked like in your life right now. If God has told you in a dream or in anything, somebody trying to take my voice now, don't want me to tell you that. You have irrevocable favor. Even though they may try to make other people see you another way, even though they might say all types of stuff behind your back and make you look and seem a certain way, you have irrevocable favor. It's going to shine through. The spirit of Elijah is resting on Elisha because he asked for it and people saw it. The right people are going to see it. The other people always wanted to believe something really bad about you anyway. Okay? Stop worrying about what other people think about you. We don't have time for that. Follow God. Okay? Irrevocable favor. They stripped him of the coat that his father Jacob had given to him. They stripped him of the coat, Jacob had given to him and sold him into slavery. For a short time, it looked as though the brothers had stripped Joseph of God's favor. Yet they could not strip him of what was given to him by his heavenly Father, his mantle, his calling, or his dream. Whether his brothers accepted it or not, Joseph was covered with the favor of God. What did I just say? Whether they like it or not, you're not here for them people. There's going to be some people in your life that's going to make you feel like they can still control you. They want to try to come back after you done cut them off and try to bully you into being like everybody else because you're being seen and you're doing what God is asking you to do, and they can't handle it because you outshining some folks. You understand? They thought he was done with. They thought Joseph was done with. Disowned him, pushed him out the family, or whatever they did. Okay? We don't know everything. But they could not take his mantle, his calling, or his dream. And okay? The Lord was with Joseph so that he prospered, and he lived in the house of the Egyptian master. Are you hearing me? The Lord was with Joseph, okay? After being sold into slavery, Joseph ended up at the palace of Potiphar, a ruler in Egypt, after being sold into slavery, okay? It wasn't long before Joseph's divine favor caused him to stand out and rise through the ranks. When his master saw that the Lord was with him and that the Lord gave him success in everything he did, Joseph found favor in his eyes and became his attendant. Potiphar put him in charge of his household, and he entrusted to his care everything he owned. That's trust right there, because he saw that he had favor. Okay? What's good now? Welcome on in. And thank y'all so much for the likes and the gifts. Okay? Okay, later after Joseph correctly interpreted a dream for the Pharaoh gave Joseph his signet ring, fine linen robes, a gold chain, and more. He put Joseph in command of the land of Egypt. So again, when, and we're going to stop there, and I know we didn't get far, but we're on page 74, okay? Because we went back to 70. When you are staying steady on what you believe for God to be bringing into your life, people are going to see the favor that God has over your life. And there's going to be people who cheer you on. And then there's going to be people who are going to want to know who the fuck do you think you are. And some of these people are going to hold back how they feel about you from you, but not from other people. They're going to be talking about you with other people who want to hear something bad about you, who've already judged you anyway. Okay? And they're going to go and team up with these people and be talking about you all crazy behind your back. And most of the time it's going to be your family. And then as things start to come into fruition for you, and other people have embraced what you're saying and what you're doing as some type of art or something that makes you famous or a celebrity, or people looking up to you, they're going to want to try to come back after all that. Because you owe them something. Because you were born into this family. Because you gave birth to some. Sister of, brother of, father of, I don't know. But they're going to feel entitled. And they're going to try to make you out to be the villain because you no longer talk to this person. And they think that now, because it's been some years, they want you to believe that they've changed. You got some folks coming back in here towards y'all. Okay? The tables are turning, and it's their turn on the bottom of the wheel. And you're on top. Some of y'all are really about to be on top. Because your destiny is connected to other people's destiny. Some of y'all are building businesses. You're deciding to work for yourself. And when you're being guided by God to do certain things, people are going to take notice because you've always been guided, but they didn't want you to know it. They saw it. They saw it in you way before you saw it in you. Way before. And so they was trying to break your spirit down. So that you wouldn't even think of pursuing something. And let me tell you, it's that spirit that's in them. Some of y'all, this is your own family that you have sibling rivalry with. Cain and Abel. Okay? I'm good with you as long as you don't have more than me, or you not making a name for yourself more than me. It's always people that's closest to you that don't want to see you succeed because they thought it was going to be them who everybody's looking up to. That's what they wanted people to do. They have a craving for that. And because you're the generation or the people that God has appointed that you're not looking for that, that's why God makes you that. You go through a lot more than those people. You've been tested and tried in ways that you never even told nobody about. And people think they know you. And they don't. Not realizing that you were just always a good spirit and you wanted everyone to be happy. And you clapped for everyone. Okay? But when it became time for them to see you being clapped for, there's this envy, jealousy that comes into play. Because they always knew that if you did it, it would be bigger than even you knew. Like, these people know you. They seen you move. They seen how you deal with things that would be life-shattering for them. And these are the same people who try to put stuff out there to discredit you so that people won't work with you, because they know they'll look at this person crazy, like, why didn't you tell us that your brother was like this? Why are you hiding your brother? Your sister. Mother trying to hide the daughter, the son. Because of the talent, the gifts, and the calling that's over your life that they seen before you saw it. They don't want to look like a monster. They don't want to look like you were blocking this person to other people. But they're being exposed. They're being exposed. It's that time. This is the year of the 9. Next year going to be even worse. The year of the 10. 10 is about endings. 9 is, okay, everything's coming to the light. All the snakes. We're in the year of the snake. All the snakes, the grass is being cut. People are being seen for who they really are. Okay. Thank y'all so much for the follows. So don't be all, it's 9 o'clock now. I was talking about it's 9. 9. It's 9 o'clock now. Okay, we in the year of the 9. Next year is going to be something else. People talking about this year. Next year is going to be something else. Okay? Over the next 25 years, there's going to be so much change. We're in the age of Pluto in Aquarius. Okay? And for those of you who aren't into astrology or numerology and any of that, I really am. There's going to be so much change in our government systems. There's going to be so much change in how people work, how they make their money. And every system in this world is going to be changed over the next 25 years. And I mean fast change. It's not going to be that, okay, well, it takes us 1 year to do a survey on this and then come up with results. It's not. The age of Aquarius brings new things and technology faster than before. There's going to be things coming in so fast that we're going to have to keep up with so that we don't get left behind. So I don't care how old you are. If you're being guided to go back to school to start a whole nother career, understand God has something in it for you. And you need to do it. Okay? Well, it's 9 here. Okay? So continue to go on your way. Continue to listen to that voice of God, the way that God is telling you to go. Because a lot of you guys don't realize that your destiny is connected to so many other people's destinies right now. The change that we want in the world is going to come through us. The spiritual community that's helping other people heal, that understand that it's about connection again. To understand that it's about unconditionally loving people for who they show you that they are, and still understanding how to keep up boundaries because you don't want certain shit in your camp. Not if you're following God. God ain't even going to allow you to be around that type of shit. That's going to throw you off focus. That's going to throw you off path. God got you. And when you go on winter, you're going to realize that. Look back over your life and see how God got you out of some things that you weren't supposed to be a part of. And it may have seemed like your whole world was falling apart, but it was trying to be put back on a stronger foundation for you so that you move forward on your path for God. Ask for bigger things of spirit. Limitless thinking, limitless living. God don't want us to be in that box that society has showed us that they just want to control you. And that's why they're always restricting me on my lives, because I'm telling y'all the truth and I'm telling y'all what it is, and they don't like me for it. But I'm telling you, you're being restricted, and you need to think outside the box that they've had us in generation after generation, living the same cycles, because they put it in your head that you can't do no better than your grandmother or your mama or your daddy. It's a lie. But you got to step outside the box and want to see that it's a lie. Stop staying in your hometown. Move outside your hometown and see how different your life changes. Quickly. If you're being guided to do it, do it. Okay? Oh yeah, you're all late, baby. I'm about to close this up. Soldier Up Productions. Let me follow you. Thank you for the follow. Okay? Gotta see what you're doing over there. We might have to talk. All right? I love y'all. And I hope that y'all enjoyed this session of Social Seeds with the Limitless Thinking, Limitless Living. All right. For those of you who came in and you're new, I appreciate you so much for the follows. Okay. We talk about healing trauma over here. I've been a social worker for over 20 years. I'm a Social Seed podcast host. I am a poetess. I'm a gardener. I'm an energy healer. I'm a seer, as they call them. I have other channels here on TikTok where I do my energy readings and things. The Awakened Empress 33, if you want to follow me there. I have a little over 31K followers. So please don't follow the fakes, and I do not have a backup page, and I will never reach out to you. Okay? I also have the Pisces portal. For those of you who are interested, you got Pisces in your chart, and you want to hear some of what I got to say on my readings about Pisces, make sure you follow over there. The link should be in my bio in the link tree. There's also some fake Pisces portals, so be careful. Okay? If you don't see me go live on there every day, not night, I do come on at night, but every day I go live on Pisces portal, and I have the Pisces portal by the Awakened Empress 33 on YouTube, and you can also follow that in the link tree. Okay? Make sure that you guys follow. And the Social Seeds podcast is also on YouTube, okay? It says Social Seeds podcast hosted by Stacey Linnell. And that is my name, okay? So for those of you who are new, welcome on in, okay? We are a healing podcast. For those of us who are on a healing journey, a spiritual journey, of raising not just the vibration of the earth, but those around us. That's how it gets done. As you raise your own vibration, and people are seeing that either they're for you or they're against you, and you're going to find out either way on your journey. Okay? But we do get into different readings, and this is the second book that we're covering here in the Social Seeds podcast. The first one we did was Vibrate Higher Daily by Layla Delia. Beautiful book, beautiful person. I don't know that much about Danette Crawford, but I know that I like this book. And I know that you'll like it. So just hang in there with us. We are going to have some guest appearance on the show as well. For Domestic Violence Awareness Month is next month, and we will be having a few guests on the show on Sundays or Fridays. So you'll just have to lock in to see what we got coming up. In November, it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and we'll be having some couples on and hopefully some single gentlemen that are willing to come on and talk with me about their healing journey if they're on one, and what it's been like for them. But also if they've created some type of a business where they're helping other people heal or even speaking out on the situation. So make sure y'all stay tuned because we got some good stuff coming up this fall and this winter. All right. Well, thank you, Big Papa. I appreciate that. It's all God now. The name of the book is The Limitless Thinking, Limitless Living. Okay, there it is. And it's also in my post if you look on my pages. All right. And for those of you who become subbies over here or super fans over here, I will be starting to offer things. I'm about to start creating t-shirts over here to sell for my nonprofit that I am building called Blossom and Grow. This is where Social Seeds Podcast came from, was from my nonprofit Blossom and Grow, where we help people grow through what they go through. Okay, and we're using natural, holistic ways to help people heal over here. So if you're interested in knowing anything about that, you can also DM me here. You can also check us out on IG under Blossom and Grow LLC all together. All right, that's where we started, was over there on IG. So you might want to check us out. But that's what we're doing here on Social Seeds Podcast. We're here to help people heal at all types of levels. All right. I love y'all. Y'all be seeing some classes. Oh, that's what I was talking about for the subbies. If you become a super fan or a subby over here, you do get to, I'm going to start allowing you guys to pick from a class that you would like to learn from me. I'm going to start give some type of classes on here as well. You guys will be able to download them at a price, but you'll be able to also be in on the live ones if you stick around and find out what I have to offer. You also take a look at my posts and you'll see some of the things that I have to offer as well. Okay? I will. You too now. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Bye.